Saving America is taking on the national debt in a special mini series. Welcome. This is Dr. David D. Shine for Saving America. Our third panelist thinks cryptocurrency is the future of money. Welcome back to Saving America author Naresh Vissa. Naresh Vissa is the founder and CEO of Krish Media Marketing. He has worked with many well-known organizations. The list is too long, but I just pulled out JP Morgan Chase. And since we're doing this from Houston, Texas, he's worked with the Houston Rockets and the Houston Astros. He is also a best-selling author with a focus on marketing and politics. Naresh, you're number 3 today. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, I want to first talk about why right now, as we speak today, and in heading into 2022 is a perfect time to cut back on spending and not to keep spending. And no one's brought up the labor shortage that we're experiencing across every industry. So many of these social programs, so much of this spending or this social infrastructure that you brought up, it has to do with money and people trying to earn a living. And they're now trying to earn a living by getting handouts, right? And that's been the case. Close to 50% now of the country is on some type of government handout. So I say this is a perfect time to cut back because companies are bleeding. The Dollar Tree just announced that they're no longer the Dollar Tree, they're the $1.25 tree. Chipotle, they came out with a new workers' comp program. And despite that, they're paying their people at least $14 an hour starting. And their plan is for you to make $100,000 within 5 years of working at Chipotle. The bulk of it is where you're essentially making and flipping burritos. And they're still not able to fill the immense labor shortage that they're experiencing. And the major reason, once again, is because of the spending, because of the handouts. People, it's not COVID, it's not the virus, it's people have either found other ways to make money, or they say, hey, you know what, last year it was PPP money. This year it's child tax credits, it's stimulus, it's increase in Medicaid, increase in anything that you can possibly imagine. So I think right now, and of course we know it's not going to happen because as the previous speaker said, as Ed said, the Democrats are in power. And the last thing they're going to do is take away those benefits because it's their only hope of getting reelected. It's their only hope of having a chance in 2022 and also heading into 2024. So my solution is, look, right now is a perfect time to cut back because we have tons of jobs to fill and those people can go ahead and fill those jobs. But I'll also say another solution that I have with regard to the Federal Reserve and reserves in general is I think the United States should seriously consider, it used to be on a gold standard. I think it should seriously consider looking more into the crypto space, specifically Bitcoin, like El Salvador is doing. Well, right now, countries that are in terrible shape, this is like a last resort. That's the only way that they can save their governments. And I think the United States should look at what happens in El Salvador, what happens in Ukraine, which has also adopted cryptocurrency, and consider implementing it, not a crypto standard that would have replaced a gold standard, but either using crypto as reserves or just finding a way to implement crypto, because I truly do believe as more inflation comes, as there's more spending, worldwide, not just within the United States, but worldwide. The United States isn't the only country dealing with this problem. I do think that the value of crypto is going to go up and that crypto is the future of money. And of course, as the value of crypto goes up, that helps reduce the budget deficit. Now, the last thing I want to mention is I'm not for raising taxes by any means, at least on a personal level. But when you look at very large corporations like Amazon, and they get away with paying nothing in taxes or next to nothing in taxes, and you look at first world nations like the United States and like the United Kingdom, the United States doesn't have a VAT, which is essentially a tax on the supply chain of large businesses, large corporations like Amazon. And we're not saying if the United States implemented a VAT, it's not like it's going to cut even 5% into their profit margin. A large company like Amazon, Facebook, big tech, they're continuing to have ridiculously high margins. Good for them, good business models. But I think it's only fair that if the little guy, a small business owner, is paying a 20% corporate tax rate or a 35% corporate tax rate, well, the big players like Amazon, which certainly have the money and are just sitting on capital, sitting on cash, implement a VAT, and I don't think they'll have a problem paying it. And like I said, many other competitors to the United States, other first world nations, they all have VATs.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Naresh. Thank you for joining us for this episode of Saving America. This is Dr. David D. Shine. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe on your favorite platform.